What's going on, everyone? Dave Knittel here for my entrepreneur vlog. Today is Tuesday, March 13th, freshly clean shaven. Just got done shaving. The beard is gone for the next 6 months. And yeah, this is what I look like now. Still getting used to it, but I guess it'll grow on me. So yeah, so my brother was visiting this past weekend. He's also a big soccer fan. For anybody who knows us from Bros Talking Soccer or whatnot, you know, Christian was out here visiting, so I got to record a couple podcasts with him. We did a Liverpool video with him, so that was a lot of fun. But he left on Sunday, and you know, it was just good spending some time with him. Always good to have some brotherly love. Beyond that, you know, so I have, for those that may not know me and maybe watching for the first time. So I have 3 different entrepreneurial projects that I'm working on right now. I have a fantasy soccer website called Futsal. I have a YouTube channel called The Soccer Tavern. And then I have a podcast called Bros Talking Soccer that I do with my brother. So just going to give you a little bit of background on how this last week went on each of those projects. So starting off with Futsal, the fantasy soccer website. So we've been running a tournament with Stadium Scene. So Stadium Scene is a content partner who we've worked with. They have a bunch of content creators that they kind of are in their network and they promote. And so we got together, did an 18 fan futsal tournament with some of the people involved with Stadium Scene. I unfortunately lost this week. Heartbreaking last second goal by Crystal Palace knocked me out. But everybody from Stadium Scene seems to be really engaged with fan futsal, which we haven't really had so far. So hopefully we can keep that success kind of going, and we will, you know, my hope and my goal is to run at least one more fan futsal tournament before the EPL season ends, and then maybe do some for MLS. So, you know, hoping for that. For those that watched the video last week, the vlog from last week, still pretty much all the same as far as fan futsal is concerned due to my budget constraints and limitations. I mean, the reality is things kind of happen a lot slower than what I would hope. So there's still some slowness on the fan futsal website on Saturdays and Sundays. That comes from our API feed being, you know, a bit slower. We still haven't upgraded it completely to the new version and their efficiencies with the new version. So hopefully we will do that in the coming weeks, but it's still frustrating that the site can slow down on the weekend when, you know, most things should be happening on fan futsal. MLS still is not on the fan futsal website. I should be, you know, I have a meeting with my team later, or at least I'm going to send them messages later today, and they're finalizing testing with MLS. So hopefully either today or tomorrow, MLS will be back on fan futsal, and we'll have some tournaments and games created for that. For those that, you know, may not know, our APIs, our data feed provider, upgraded their systems, and MLS got a little wacky. I don't know if it was because of the new season, if it was because of the new franchise with LAFC, whatever it was. We're not fully integrated with it again, or we're not fully integrated with the data. So MLS isn't fully on the site. It's only got Western Conference teams minus LAFC. So, you know, hopefully within the coming days, it'll be back up. And lastly, retention still just continues to be an issue for us. Hopefully the things like, you know, I talked about previously on Stadium Scene, where you get groups of people that already have kind of connections and get them engaged. That's what I need to do, because I keep picking up random people from really all over the world, and getting them engaged has been really, really tough. Lastly, on the fan futsal front, so in November, I did some advertising on a podcast called The Total Soccer Show with Daryl and Taylor. They're fantastic. They do 5 weekly soccer shows per week from America, with mainly a Premier League focus, but they focus on American soccer, some MLS, and you know, some other soccer as well. But that was by far my best advertising campaign as far as getting users and getting retention from users. Then our site crashed in December, and we lost a lot of those users. Some of them are still there, and I really appreciate those people sticking around. But now that the site is back up and at least functioning mostly correctly, I'm hoping to do some more advertising on the Total Soccer Show in the coming weeks, and, you know, hopeful that we get some more people and some more retention and all of that. Switching gears now to the Soccer Tavern, the YouTube channel that I have. So, you know, the Soccer Tavern on YouTube. We released our Huddersfield and Leicester City club history videos this past week and gotten some pretty decent numbers, specifically the Huddersfield viewers and watch time, which are the 2 metrics that I'm, you know, most concerned with. Had the best numbers since my initial Bournemouth video. And for those, you know, my Bournemouth video then had some incorrect statements. And so I actually had to take the Bournemouth video down and redo it. And so the new Bournemouth video doesn't have anywhere near the amount of views as the original one. But Huddersfield video gotten a lot of good feedback. I released it, and then I tweeted at some blogs and some Twitter accounts that had Huddersfield in the name and seemed to be, followed by a couple thousand people. And I've had a lot of success with doing that and tweeting at people and supporters groups in that kind of realm. And so we got a lot of good response from them. They seemed to like the video. They were appreciative that I made it. And so, it was up around 250 or so views, which is, awesome for me and my videos. Going on vacation the next few days for my wife's birthday. So I'm trying to get ahead with my videos. So this past week, I finished editing Leicester, which came out Monday. And then Liverpool comes out on Thursday, and then Man City comes out on Monday. So I've gotten ahead and have all the editing done for those. And today I'm going to spend the rest of the day editing my Manchester United video. I had that recorded already. So just trying to get out ahead of things. And then I've been compiling lists of supporters groups, mainly in Australia, Canada, and America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, kind of English-speaking countries that are outside of Europe. So if they have supporters groups for any of the teams that I've already done club history videos on for the Premier League, I'm trying to send it to them because I feel like those fans and supporters are going to be the ones that are going to benefit the most from my club history videos. If you're in Huddersfield, you probably already know most of the club history. But if you're a supporter in New Zealand who may be new to supporting Huddersfield or maybe just aren't reading as much about the club, you may find my videos more interesting. So that's kind of the thought process behind targeting those people. And I've gotten some good responses from people, mainly in Australia. I will say that they've been most likely to respond and most engaging. So I've appreciated that. So I recorded my Liverpool video with my brother Christian over this past week, or I guess it was 2 Saturdays ago. So not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. That was a lot of fun. It's always good. He's a huge Liverpool fan, as am I. But we had some silly moments in it. Obviously, when you're with somebody, it tends to be better and, a better rapport and all of that. And so we had some silly moments, and I made an outtakes video because I couldn't say the word miracle, and it made for a pretty hilarious outtake video. So go check that out. It's not on the YouTube channel, but it's on the Soccer Tavern Twitter and Facebook, and I will put it on the YouTube channel eventually. But highly recommend checking that out because I still watch it every couple of days because I find it hilarious and just laugh at myself. Lastly, the other day, laying in bed before falling asleep, I just got this idea to do what I'm doing with the club history videos, but do it for national teams before the World Cup. So it may be a bit much. The World Cup's about 90 days away, but I am going home in Philly for 3 weeks in May. And I like filming here. I'm out in my apartment in San Jose with my scarves behind me and over on this wall as well. And I like having that as the backdrop. So I need to really sort of ramp things up as far as my Premier League club history videos, get them done and edited so I can at least start making some videos for the World Cup, because I just feel like people are going to find them interesting. And number one, I find it interesting, so I want to do the research myself. But with the limitations or restraints of me being away and wanting to film here, I really need to buckle down and start researching. So I'm trying to finish researching my last Premier League club. I've done all clubs except for West Ham. I've done most of West Ham. I just have a little bit more to finish up with the club. So hopefully I get that done today. I get Man United edited today. And so then we go on vacation, and when I come back, I can record my last 8 videos that I need to record and then just focus on editing. And then I can research the World Cup national team history videos kind of throughout April. And then towards the end of April, maybe film. I want to get to at least 8, hopefully 12, and, pie in the sky 16 videos shot before I go home, because I can do the editing while I'm home. I just don't want to film. So that's it on the Soccer Tavern front. And then finally, the Bros Talking Soccer podcast front. Again, Christian was out here, so we were able to record 2 podcasts in person. Matt was still back east, but at least just having one person, in person. So 2 people, I guess it would be 2 people together. It just makes for a better podcast because you can play off each other. There's not that little delay of, you're interacting with, over Skype or, YouTube, or, with what we use Google Hangouts through YouTube, and we live stream it kind of like I'm live streaming this. So, it's just nice to have them in person. So I thought it went really well. Our episode from a couple weeks ago with Mark Lawson from Game Day Tourist, that did really well. So, again, Mark was really great on the podcast, but it got well over 100, not well over, but it got over 100 downloads and listens, which is good for our podcast. And, our most recent couple of podcasts are back down to our usual after 1 week, about 30 to 50 listens. So I'm not really sure what happened there. I know Mark shared it, but generally he usually shares all of our podcasts. So I'm not sure why we spiked so much just with that one. But, again, I'm just going to keep continuing to put out the content and hopefully figure out what works and what doesn't, how best to market everything. I will say it was slightly longer, but it wasn't exceptionally longer. So I don't think that was it. I'm still trying to piece together why it did so much better, but it did. And, I'm not complaining. I just wish I could figure it out and do that for all my other podcasts. We continue to release special podcasts on Wednesdays. So I pulled the audio from my Soccer Tavern YouTube videos and we release them just as special podcasts on Wednesdays, again, just to get additional content and all of that out there. This week's, I already have it edited and ready to go, but it's going to be the history of position numbers. This one I'm most nervous about for being a podcast because with the YouTube, obviously you have the visual component and it makes it a lot easier for viewers to see and understand everything that I'm saying. So I don't know how well this one is going to translate to a podcast form, but we'll see. And then after this one, then I'm going to jump into all my club history videos that will be podcasts. And again, I'm hopeful that people will enjoy it because I personally love podcasts. I think that they're so great that you can just listen, kind of consume the content, but you don't need to be solely 100% focused on it in the way the world kind of is right now, where a lot of people are distracted, or you just have to be uber productive, I feel like, all the time. So I love listening to podcasts while I'm eating, doing the dishes, folding laundry, just sitting around, and sometimes even playing video games. I can listen to a podcast and be doing kind of two things at once. So, I like the podcast, and I think that there is something there. Just need to keep putting it out and keep building all of that stuff. And that's about it, for this week. I hope you enjoyed this latest vlog. I'm off to Southern California for the next few days to celebrate my wife's birthday. So happy birthday, Kristen. And hope you all have a great week. Thanks for tuning in and watching this video, and I will talk to you all next week. See you, everyone. Bye. Where's my mouse? There it is. All right. See you, everyone. Bye.